Hey, what up, everybody? CB Breach coming to you right here. I'm making a video, my predictions for the big Hell in the Cell pay-per-view that's going to be happening on Sunday night. I would be lying to you if I told you I was pumped up about this. I am looking for something big to happen on this card. I'm not 100% sure on what it's going to be. They got to give us something. I mean, coming off a 2-week build for a pay-per-view, most of these are rematches or matches that you've seen coming for a while. So I mean, there isn't like they had to lay down a whole bunch of pipe in order to get here. So um, I don't know. I'm not looking for the hugest, biggest buy rate on here. People don't really mark out for these pay-per-views, except for like Money in the Bank that's built around a big stipulation. To me, if you know the Hell in the Cell is coming and you're a smart fan and you're looking at it, you can basically pick the feuds that are going to be in there. I was a little bit wrong with the SmackDown one, but we pretty much saw what was going on with Monday Night Raw. Like at least before the last pay-per-view, we knew what was going to be in here. So all in all, I'm not saying that I'm all that hyped or surprised or anything like that. It's just another pay per view. It happened the same way last year, so let's just get down to picking some matches. We're looking at maybe 6 matches. There's 5 at least posted already, but more than likely, I think they're going to end up adding a tag team match. It's going to be the tag team of Air Boom, your tag team champions, Kofi Kingston, and good old what's his name, Evan Bourne, going up against who I think is going to be Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger, getting over the Team Vicky angle that's going over. They didn't get the Mason Ryan. They ended up having a little bit of a tip, and I think they're just going to keep on using these guys to the point till more likely something happens with Vicky and Dolph, which I don't think they're going to break up. It's funny that one week Vicky goes out there and she says that she's with Dolph, and nobody's as good as Dolph, and I thought that was gonna be the face turn with Swagger, and then the next night on Monday Night Raw, Swagger's right there with her again, and she invites him to join the team. I was a little bit lost there from the last pay-per-view 2 weeks ago, but I think these guys are just gonna keep on fighting until we finally get Jack Swagger going face, and I know I've been saying this ever since maybe even before Money in the Bank. So we'll see what we get from here. I'm thinking that they're not going to win the titles. I think they need to keep these guys keep on fighting against each other. I apologize. My phone keeps on going. I'll toss it over there. I had to put the time. I had to put the alarm on because I'm setting my alarm for the morning to wake me up. Unfortunately, I use my phone as my wake up alarm. I have to go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, which is gonna blow. But from there we go to the good old match of Sin Cara against Sin Cara. I'm going to go on a limb here, guys. I'm going to pick Sin Cara here. I think these guys are going to have a good match. No, not really, but basically, if you're a smart fan, there's, Sin Cara, who's Mystico, and then there's Hunico. Hunico's now wearing black, unless they find some way to switch it up on us. And that way we're a little bit lost in the shuffle here. I don't think this feud is going to go the way of Fake Kane or Fake Taker. I don't think it's going to be a one-hit wonder and then they're out of here. I think they actually want to make some money off of this. If it comes down to it and it goes long enough, they can start selling the black mask, and you can see who's a fan of the the heel Sin Cara and the face Sin Cara. And something's gonna happen, and I think that the heel Sin Cara is gonna cheat, and this feud's gonna keep going. I don't really think that they want to blow this off. It's the first real feud that they've had for Sin Cara, unless they just want to end this completely, which they got to make some money off this guy, as much money as they're paying him and as much trouble that he's caused, and get something out of this guy and get him started going in the right direction, because a lot of people are really hyped up about this match when most people know that it's just a match that they had to put together because they wanted to keep this guy on TV while he was busted for the wellness policy. From there, we'll go on to the good old women's match. We're going to go Kelly Kelly against Beth Phoenix. You got to pick Beth Phoenix. There's no way in the world they're going to let her lose 3 times in a row on pay-per-view, are they? I mean, they're not trying to build Kelly Kelly up like she's China or Trish Stratus. I don't think anybody in the world thinks she's going to be that, and I don't think anybody's going to take anything away from Kelly Kelly. I don't think anybody really thinks that she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. I know they want to make her the poster girl, the Sunny, but actually have some wrestling skills. But having this title and actually beating Beth Phoenix twice, even if she never holds this title again or is never in the title picture for at least another year, I think that when you see her on Raw, at least now you're going to have something in the back of your mind that she could win. When before, when Kelly Kelly was going out there, she was just out there to show her tatas and she was going to get squashed. Um, So I'm hoping for a Beth Phoenix win, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Kelly Kelly wins. But for the sake of my predictions, I'm going to pick Beth Phoenix. From there, we go to the big SmackDown rivalry of Christian versus Sheamus. These are the two guys that have been helping putting over guys the last while. Christian's coming out of the Orton feud. Both of these guys didn't have a match on the last. No, I almost said last month, but 2 weeks ago's pay per view. You also got Sheamus, who put over Mark Henry huge at SummerSlam. It also didn't make him look that bad on the crawl into the ring on the countout. So it's hard to say who's going to put over who here, but you would think whoever wins this is going to get a shot at the title. So I mean, if Sheamus wins, you can get Sheamus against Mark Henry. You can see who they really want to put over in that feud, and then we can get this one more match out of the way for Christian and Randy Orton. It doesn't have to be a title match, which I think a lot of people will really like, for the fact that you don't have to worry about this title switching back and forth, because they've had such great matches through pay-per-views and SmackDown, so on and so forth. So I'm going to pick Sheamus for this, just so we can get that Christian and Randy Orton match that doesn't have to go for the title. So I honestly just gave away my prediction for the Mark Henry versus Randy Orton match for the World Heavyweight Championship. We'll pick Mark Henry for that. Get him over as a good big-time champion. And then we have the triple threat Hell in a Cell match. John Cena, CM Punk, and Alberto Del Rio. This is a tough one, man. It could go any other way. They've made Del Rio look like the big strong man, laying everybody out on Raw. You got John Cena, who won his 12th title at the last pay-per-view, and it's only been 2 weeks. Are you going to have him drop it? Or are you going to let CM Punk back in the title reign? I don't know. I haven't been liking what they've been doing with Punk lately, honestly. I think that they're making him look like what I call the whiny bitch. They need to just have him go in there and start kicking ass. I think the one way they could do it, they're going to have to stop this, I think he's on a face run right now. You can say he's the guy behind Cena, but I think everybody wants him to be a heel. I think that's the way I love him. I once compared CM Punk being a face to having glass in my cereal. It sort of sucks. And it takes everything away from him. He doesn't, fight back as much as he used to. He likes to run his mouth, and he doesn't really back it up until like there is a match. He's always just sort of complaining about getting screwed by this guy or that guy. I know Zach's saying, I don't know what you're watching. I'm watching something different. But we had this argument the other day. But I just don't see it the same CM Punk as I used to when he's a heel. Honestly, this could go either other way. The easiest pick is to say Cena's going to win it, but I don't know. I'm looking for some sort of screw job. There's too many guys stacked up against Triple H right here. You got Nash, you got The Miz, you got R-Truth. I'm praying to God we don't have the same finish with these guys running in as the last two pay-per-views. Like we had Nash running at SummerSlam, and then we had all three of them running at Night of Champions. But these guys haven't been on TV. They really sold it last week, but they were on house shows. They put up their own video on YouTube, which was pretty cool. So more than likely, if I had to bet money, I'd say these guys are coming in there in some capacity, because they use the Hell in the Cell as like it's supposed to keep everybody out or keep the match inside, and it never ever really does. So I'm looking for those guys to show up. Honestly, this is the first time they've ever done a triple threat Hell in the Cell. They've done a 6-man where they had Rikishi get tossed off into the hay, and that was really cool back in the day. But honestly, even having 6 guys was having too many, but I think with 3 it's going to be too many. When they had CM Punk and they had Ricardo Rodriguez and they had John Cena in there, I didn't even know that Alberto Del Rio was inside the cell on Monday, and maybe I wasn't really supposed to know. Maybe they wanted him to come out and do the surprise, layout on everybody like that, but I thought he was outside the cell when it came down. I know he didn't come in the door. He probably ran to the side and squeaked up under and hit on that really, side of the non-TV side of the ring. So we couldn't see him, and maybe that was what it was supposed to be, but I'm really not 100% sure if I'm going to like the 3 guys in the Hell in the Cell, because one guy's always going to be sort of out of the picture unless they do that wide view where you can see it, but then you can see inside the cage, but you really can't see it because it gets in the way. Most of the time they use the camera that's inside of there, the camera that they cut the hole in the side for it, so there's always going to be that trying to guess where somebody is in there, so I think they're really going to have to try hard to make this match really good for me. I think I'm sort of giving it the shits because I don't like how they build the pay-per-view week after week, But I want to see CM Punk win the title, so I think that's who it's going to be. I wish Del Rio's title reign was longer. I really don't like what Austin said about Del Rio having the title, winning it so fast, and then saying that he shouldn't be in the main event because he needs to learn the U.S. style. And I think I'm going to save most of that rant for another video, but we'll pick CM Punk to win this. But I wouldn't be surprised if he had some interference. At least have Triple H involved in this match, even if he is wearing the suit in some capacity, because you need to get these outsiders. I didn't really mean to call them outsiders, but the guys that are fired, you needed to get them over. And then from here, I think you go to Vengeance. So you don't have to build up for Survivor Series yet, but we're getting there. We need to find out who's going to be this 5-on-5 tag team for Cena and Rock, because you have to find some way to get Rock built back into this. So they have some work to do, and we'll see where we go from here. But pay-per-view tomorrow. I'll be working. I won't be able to watch it. I'll be getting results from my friend NWA Wrestling Fan, and I'll be able to watch the good stuff when I get home. Hopefully, I can find it on YouTube or this, that, and the other. But there's no way I'm going to order this one.